Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the other side of the room, Bernie Maskman.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bernie Maskman Presents. I am your host, Bernie Maskman. Thank you all for coming out. I am so glad you could all make it. Of course, this is our big May show. Before I go any further, I always like to get everybody's attention over to Production Corner, where, of course, lies the production staff. It's Producer Avery, everybody. Hey! Producer Avery, of course, you've been with me since the beginning. Yep. You started out with me. You've been working hard, getting the guests lined up every month. Just top of the line guests. We've had any number of people. We had my grandmother, which was a night. It was nice to see. We had a guy dressed as a baby. Yep. That was a thing that happened. We've had, of course, one of my personal favorites, the Fez, who we've always stated.
Yeah, the Fez!
Yeah, everyone loves the Fez. Birmingham's #1 entrepreneur of imports and exports. Whatever that means. And of course, back in the back corner, we have Pete in the band. The band, of course, let's give it up for the band.
I do have like,
sorry.
I mentioned this earlier, and that everyone was here for this. I am the artist formerly known as the band. I am now known as Afro Greek. Afro Greek! Yeah!
That feels like the sort of product that a gentleman of a certain age would get to make certain that his African American hair was not going gray. Like an Afro-Grecian formula. It's all right. It's all right. We'll work on the product placement. And of course, my opening act, my good buddy Pete on the guitar. Pete. Pete's one of the only guys in town. I've had a lot of guys come up and do opening comedy before the Bernie Maskman show, and I believe Pete was the one guy that got it. Everybody tried a lot of different ways of getting a crowd involved in the show, and I think Pete got it the best. And I think it was a conversation we had when I said, Pete, these people paid little to nothing to show up. They don't have to work that hard. And he took that to heart. And I think that's what really makes the difference. So that's my production staff, everybody. Well, I'll tell you what, we are in the middle of May. We're right digging into May. It's a big month for all of us. As Pete said earlier, we are getting ready, gearing up for the Birmingham Comedy Festival. Bernie Maskman has a slot, the coveted early Sunday afternoon slot. Yeah, that's right. All the outsiders and headliners get to come in and take the night slots. Bernie will be taking that post-church crowd. That's what we're after. But we're gonna have a good time. We got a chock full time slot. We're gonna have a doubly large Bernie show. Normally, of course, we deliver to you, fine folks, about a 40-45 minute show. The comedy festival show will be about an hour and a half, hour 45. Chock full. We've got some great guests, some of course crowd favorites. Willie Rumrunner will be present. Everyone's of course America's third favorite beach-themed folk singer, and of course the comedy stylings of Andrew 20-sided Dice Clay will be on this stage. Geekdom's hottest ticket, and we also got a couple special guests that I'm bringing in, especially for me, but I think you're going to really like them. My old mentor, it will be coming in to talk a little bit about his life has been like ever since back in the old days, the wrestling circuit. And of course, I have a Avery told me I have a very special guest, but I'm not privy to know that yet. So we'll find out together. So please come out May 21st. Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and come see Bernie Maskman Presents at the Birmingham Comedy Festival. And please, come out that whole weekend. We've got great shows that weekend. Lori Kilmartin and Jackie Cation. I've been plugging this show since I found out about it. They are two of my favorite comedians. They'll be doing not only both their individual stand-ups, but they'll be recording a live recording of their podcast they do together. Great podcast, great show, and those two ladies are immense comedic talents. So please come out and see those at the very least. Of course, Birmingham's very own Martin Morrow will be in town doing shows, and tons of other comedic guests that will be coming through Birmingham to give you, the fine folks, entertainment. So that's what we do here. We're bringing you the best.
Yeah!
Woo! That's my cheap plug for the people that gave me that sweet Sunday 3 p.m. slot. So moving forward, I gotta say I've been working on some new things. Outside of Avery, Avery's a great on-the-spot, on-stage producer, but there's been some issues. We've had some issues with getting video. We had all of 2016. The Bernie Maskman show went on 12 months of the year. We had 12 shows in 2016. Absolutely zero footage of 2016 made it to the internet, and I thought, what is the deal? And if I could be so Seinfeldian, what is the deal? I'm like, I hear people have cameras, and I hear they can do editing. I've yet to see physical evidence of that. So I broke out from the Bernie Maskman Productions studios. I broke out the old camera. I've got it cranking in the back. Literally a guy in giant trousers with a megaphone cranking it. It's not quite that old, but it feels pretty close. But as I was setting up shots and getting everything ready, I thought to myself, this is really below the line problems. I'm the talent. What's the deal here? I'm Bernie frickin' Maskman, if I could be so bold as to use French. Why can't I catch a break? But you know what? That's what we're about. We are bootstrappers. That's what we are, Avery. We're bootstrappers. We pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. In my case, lovely Converse bootstraps. Can't see it on camera because I didn't set it that low, but that's okay. No one cares about my shoes. It's all about the money making. But we are going to get ourselves. We're building things. There's plans in the works for a lot more Bernie on the street vignettes, things we're going to be recording and doing a lot of different stuff. Of course, you'll probably see the help of the band artist formerly known as the band Afro Creek. I'm going to have to change that in the credits. Again, above the line. What the hell? Of course, we'll probably do some stuff. Avery and I out in the street doing some things. Who knows? Maybe Pete and I will busk out in the street on 5 Points, just playing some music. And nope, okay, I've been turned down. Fair enough. But we're going to have a lot of things coming up in the new year. We're going to really excited about the possibilities of the Bernie Maskman Presents experience coming to everybody, and I hope that you are on board as well. All 8 of you. So we're going to get started with my first guest. Now, my first guest tonight, I'm pretty excited about this. Avery came to me and said, I've got an actor. I've got a big-time actor. He's been in a lot of big movies. And I thought, oh, crap. Who do we have in the area? Because normally we just get people from the area. So I don't, and you're excited. I see the look on your face that you're excited about this guy. So I thought, okay, well, you know what? I gotta trust Avery. I don't know why. It's yet to work out for me, but I'm gonna trust Avery because he's the best I've got. So I've got a gentleman coming to the stage. He's an actor. He's been in such films as, if I'm not, I have my cards. Such films, Captain America: Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And the upcoming Black Panther movie. So that's very good. That's a pretty good guess. Big Marvel movies. Okay, so we've got, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, Mr. Dale Prescott. Woo! Dale Prescott. All right. Well, big time. Now I will say I have not seen most of these films. I am not what you would call a movie buff. I have not seen a lot of these Marvel films because I am not 15.
Billion-dollar properties, but yes, go ahead.
No, condescending. I would never. That is just not my way when I'm caught. Listen, but I gotta say, I haven't seen most of these shows, but I believe our audience would love to hear more about, what was it like to be on the set of these films? I mean, these are big productions.
Yes, very big, very expensive. The thing about these kinds of films is that, as the performer, there's only so much I can divulge. So when it comes to things like Black Panther or
I certainly wouldn't ask you anything about the upcoming films.
or the Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Black
Spider-Man.
Panther. These are all pieces that I know we shouldn't talk about because you probably have some kind of a non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, several pieces of paper prevent me from communicating.
I can understand that.
with
I
people.
have a very similar thing, but it's a restraining order. So it's not the same type of legal issue.
No stranger, Bernie. No stranger.
All right.
But I can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, cool, excellent, yeah.
Which is a recent film that recently came out.
And I tell you what, I did get a chance to go out and see that. It was a great film, really. I really enjoyed it. I'm not necessarily into the comic book feel, but I loved the sci-fi and the comedy nature of the movie. I think they really did a good job. Now, I know a lot of aliens in that movie. Who could you do? Who were you?
Well, in the scene where the Ravagers are on that snow planet at a bar,
Yes.
there was a part where one of them came to order a drink, and I was the bartender.
Oh, so you... Okay, no, I remember the bar. I remember the snow planet. I remember the bar. I remember the Ravagers. That Stallone comes walking in, talks to the guy with the arrow. I remember that. I do not remember a scene at the bar exactly. Just them drinking near it.
I was in a bit of a haze when I saw the film. I'm about 75% sure I may have been cut. I don't remember exactly.
So the scene that you were in didn't make the cut.
Possibly. There is a slim chance that I was not in.
Well, I honestly can say we can't really check it because we don't have the budget for clips. So let's just assume, ladies and gentlemen, that if you go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and there possibly might be a scene near a bar where you are in. What did you have in line?
Yes, it was coming right up, I believe. But it might have been cut because if you say a line, then they have to pay your residuals. So it may have just been like my mouth was moving, but no words came out. When in post.
Okay, so it's more of a situation where they just didn't want to pay you, so they moved on.
That's what I tell myself.
We should talk more about that because I'm thinking the same thing about Avery. Well, that's great. I mean, on set, that's a big deal. Because, like I said, in that scene, Sly Stallone comes into that scene. I mean, we see Sylvester Stallone enter into the scene, have a real powerful exchange with and I forget the gentleman's name who played Yonto.
Blue. He was blue.
Blue, the blue guy.
I was out of my mind. Oh man, the substances on that set, Bernie. I don't even remember what the movie is called anymore.
No, so you're all hopped up on the goofballs and giggle sticks. I didn't realize
that's an industry term.
We had such a partier here, Avery. That's all right. So Captain America: Civil War that came out a few years back.
Yes.
Exciting film, I'm sure. You got Chris Evans. You got Robert Downey Jr.
Bobby, as we call him.
You call him Bobby.
I call him Bobby.
You call him Bobby.
Nobody calls him Bobby.
No one else does.
We have this special bond because when I said hi to him on set, he's like, "Who are you and why is my latte taking an hour to get here?" And I had to say,
like an inside joke.
"Thank you." Thank you. Yes, it was an inside joke.
Little something between colleagues.
Peers. Peers.
Same level. Dale Prescott.
Oh yeah.
And RDJ, as the kids are calling him.
Bobby.
Bobby. So I'm gonna float this idea out there. not saying anything, just gonna float it out there that you had a scene in Civil War. What was that scene?
Well, Bucky Barnes went to a Starbucks and he was waiting in line and he walked up to a barista and ordered a coffee, and guess who was the barista?
This guy.
This guy.
All right. So the Russian mindless agent, killer of millions, who is running from police and various other legal agencies, stops into a Starbucks and orders a coffee.
Well, it was a character building scene, really. It fleshed him out for the audience to really get a grip on who this person is, and specifically what his Starbucks order was.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, go ahead, please.
Oh, you want to keep going?
No, please.
Well,
Everybody, bated breath. We're all waiting to know.
Sebastian, we were on set together, and Sebastian he said something to me that I will never forget. He said, "Don't touch me or I'll call security." I believe that was the exact words. I have those stitched on a pillow number.
Cute. Again, no doubt, probably just one of those inside actors jokes.
It's like me and Bobby.
Just you and Savvy and Bobby.
Savvy and Bobby. That's what they're in my phone contacts.
I am not. You have contacts in your phone.
They are phone numbers. I don't know if they are their phone number. They're somebody's
Keep you away from clipboards. Nevertheless, I'm no writer. I'm not saying that I know anything about Hollywood screenwriting, certainly, but I've got to imagine a scene where the major villain, or maybe not villain, but certainly a centerpiece of the film, goes to a Starbucks. Seems like a sort of piece of the film that's probably not going to make it into the film. So again, I didn't see the film, but I'm guessing it was not.
You definitely didn't see the film if you thought that part wasn't important, Bernie.
Okay, so it was a big scene in the film. It was a very big scene in the motion picture.
It was big to me, Bernie. That's not all that matters.
Well, no, because there are people that watch the film, and it's big to you because you got paid more than likely. Again,
no, I didn't get paid. I actually lost money on the trip to Atlanta and back in gasoline.
Fair enough.
That's the industry, Riz.
Well, no, it isn't, because they pay extras to be on set for exactly that. I mean, you don't say anything, but you hand them something, or you walk across the scene just as a filler thing. I mean, you obviously. You had a contract to be on set.
Oh, no, Bernie. I didn't have a contract to be anywhere. I just kind of walked onto the set. I just kind of just appeared there.
Okay. Now I think I see where it's going here.
Okay.
And thank you again, Avery. Excellent job. So in the world of sports, in the world of college sports particularly, we have what we call a walk-on. It is a person that did not get a scholarship, but they walk on, and the facility is open to them to do a tryout. That is what we call a walk-on. And I believe that it compartmentalized. In the film world, in the entertainment world, a walk-on is a smaller role, almost a cameo, but oftentimes a one-line, two-line, simple little walk-on role. I believe what's happened here is you've gotten too crossed.
I have indeed literally walked on to the set.
Yes, and that is not what that term means. You're not so much a Hollywood actor as a Hollywood trespasser.
Bernie, don't be ridiculous now. I was in The Force Awakens, if you'll remember.
Oh, you were in okay.
Yes.
Again, not necessarily my general forte, but Force Awakens. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, it was the scene where they explained Rey's entire backstory But then again, that it was probably also cut to, I don't remember exactly. I did walk onto the L Street set.
So the character that everybody's been questioning whether or not she is the daughter of certain people, or what her backstory is, or what her classification is, or any of that kind of stuff. The internet is abuzz about this character. You walked onto the set, no doubt saying something in character, in which they scrapped a whole chunk of the film.
Very possibly. Even though I walked on the set, they still made me sign an NDA, so I can't really share.
I don't know whether that was an NDA they had you sign. Remember earlier on when I said something about a restraining order? They do look very similar. A lot of the same language. Far be it for me to tell you what your career is. I mean, I am a late night talk show host who does a show in the back of an Irish pub. However, said Irish pub knows. I again don't mean to be telling you how to do your business, certainly. And again, I am glad you came and shared all of this with my audience. And I think that's about.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This is my manager. I have to take this.
Well,
if you
can.
Oh yes. Oh, no luck. Okay, no. Oh. All right. Well, I guess that's the way the industry is. Yes, I did get the cookies. Oh. Okay. All right. All right. I love you too. Okay. Bye, Mom.
This has been an interview. So I thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Dale Prescott. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the time in the middle of the show where I always like to pull out a segment for the audience. So we've got a lot of segments we've been working on. Of course, some of the fan favorites, of course, are Letters to Bernie. We've done several segments with my good friend Avery here. I should highlight the fact that we are going to do a very special Avery segment at the Comedy Festival show. Again, not to make you people that are here tonight feel like, why do we come to this one? But but I've got your money already, so let's move on. Avery will be doing a lovely little segment in the middle of that show, that Comedy Festival show. And I'm not certain all about it yet, but Avery will tell me about it when it's happening, and that's always a great idea. But he's excited, so what can I do? But tonight we're going to do a little something special. This is Bernie's hat. This right here, my ladies and gentlemen, this is. Now, as people came in through the door, we asked them to go ahead and write and put a little slip of paper into Bernie's hat. This, of course, are questions, comments, suggestions, or any random thought you might have. And I'm going to dip my tiny little fun fist in here and grab out these items and just give a little taste. Maybe they're questions. Maybe they're questions about me personally. Maybe they're questions about the world that you just need answered from a guy in a mask, and I'll do that for you. That's the sort of guy. I mean, I'm just gonna. Chopsticks are superior to forks. J/S. Now, either that is the kids' jargon for just saying, or this is from somebody named Justine Simpson or something. Ooh, Jessica Simpson.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not timely. He's not nearly famous anymore. I should probably get my references up to date. Chopsticks are superior to forks. I don't know about that. I think I wonder about that, really. Because, we as Americans grew up on forks, and so we understand the usage of it. And it seems stabby and scoopy, which makes sense when you're eating food. Stabby and scoopy, your basic movements of food distribution. I get that. But chopsticks are interesting. Chopsticks are a pinchy motion. Grabbing, scooping, pinchy, grab and eat. I like it. I like the idea. I also have a problem with the fact that there's you can't get a lot on there, which could be why we as Americans are chubby. I'm just saying, if we all ate with chopsticks, maybe we'd have to slow down. Maybe we'd get tired halfway through and go, "This is stupid," and walk off. I mean, let's be honest. That's basically what the ice cream cone is. It's someone going along going, "Screw a spoon. I just need a handle." So chopsticks better than forks? I don't know. I think it's more of a preference issue. I do enjoy slurping a noodle bowl as much as the next guy, but I'm a stab and scoop kind of guy. USA. I'm not trying to make an international incident out of it, but screw your chopsticks. I mean, we did better. Why are dachshunds the best breed of dogs? Woo! Good question. Good question. I fear you have started this question on a false assumption. Now, I am not saying I've got very good friends who have those tiny little bastards, and I'm not saying the dachshunds are a very good breed of dog. I mean, if you need a tiny cylindrical meat bag that's constantly angry at stationary objects, that is the dog for you. I mean, never have I seen a dog breed that is connected to a nationality quite like the dachshund in Germany. I mean, literally. You think Germans want to get over the Hitler thing? They're all just walking around going, "Please look at our shepherds, don't look at those things." They are angry little rat catchers, and they're pretty certain your shoe is one. They're angry little beasties, but if that is the sort of pet you want, believe me, no one should stand in your way. Pets are beautiful things, and you should have them. I have Avery. The only thing I don't do is follow him with a bag. That made me chuckle, Avery. How do I keep the hangries at bay? The hangries. Now I'm going to ask this corner over here because these are the young kids. These are people over here that are youthful and full of energy and vim. Hangry, I'm assuming is
as an amalgamation myself. Hangry means hungry and angry.
Hungry and angry. There we go for my shut-in viewers. Hungry and angry. No. Okay. I get this. This was the whole the Snickers campaign. The Snickers campaign. Eat a Snickers and you're not Joe Pesci, I think was their point. Now I can understand this. I too have been in those moments where you haven't had quite enough to eat, or you're just out there and you missed a meal there somewhere along the line. You start getting irritable, and I totally get that. I oftentimes worry about eating before I come to perform for you fine folks. I find that I usually just coat my stomach heavily in Guinness, and it helps to keep those hangries down. It makes me happy. That one doesn't work as well. Huppy.
Oppressed.
I may be addicted. No, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're feeling this way, if you're feeling lightheaded, if you're feeling angry at your friends and your family for no reason, it may just be a drop in blood sugar. What can I say? A little oat soda, a little barley soup, get you right. Get you right as rain. Go to your local tavern. May I suggest Buck Mulligan's? They pay me. And get yourself a lovely Guinness. It hits the spot. It does you right. And then you care less about the people that bother you beforehand. You really do. That's the nice part. I mean, it's literally the only way I get through the night. A toad in a hole. A toad in a hole. A toad in a hole. Now, at this point, a good performer would come up with something right away. Not what you would say that. I'm not what you toad in a hole. I never cared for frogs and toads. I never liked them very much. I did have a turtle when I was a child. I had a turtle. Not the speed of pet for me. Let's be honest. I was talking to some people the other night, and they said on. I don't know if you're familiar with this online thing, nextdoor.com. It's where your neighbors can tell you that you're being too loud, and then complain about colored people in your neighborhood. That's pretty much what it is. It's a way to find out who your racist neighbors are. It's basically what it boils down to. But the other day they had one on there. Someone had found a turtle in their backyard, and they were afraid that it might be someone's pet that had escaped. What? Okay. What happened? That my pet turtle escaped. Yeah, well, I opened the door for an hour and a half. And look what happened. Sucker saw a lot of day and just started booking. I fell asleep in a chair and then he was gone. It's a turtle. I had a turtle. His name was Sheldon. It's cute, right? Well, I was a child and didn't have many friends. So, this little turtle was my friend. He was a little box turtle. I had him in a box because what else would you do? I fed him whatever I could find, grass and clippings, whatever he would eat. I don't know much about turtles. That may be the problem. But he had escaped his box one evening. And I walked out in front. I looked in the box. He's gone. I'm like, oh no. Ironically, my turtle has escaped. But this was over the course of an evening, so he could easily be 5-6 feet away. And I look down, I see him. He's over by the road, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta go get him. And I walk over and I pick him up, and he's stiff as a board. My little Sheldon, mid-stride, just looking for the promised land. Died right there by the side of the road. Not squished, just post-turtle, just no longer with us, just singing with the choir invisible. And so I buried Sheldon in a backyard grave. I dug a hole and buried my best friend 2-3 foot deep, maybe. Because let's be honest, I was 7 and didn't know how to use a shovel well. But he's back there in that garden somewhere at my parents' home, and oftentimes I think somewhere out there someone's eating tomatoes. Utilize the nitrates from the decomposing body of the turtle. And maybe that makes me feel good. Maybe that makes me feel like he was a part of something bigger. Maybe it just makes me wonder, is all our food made of decomposing animals?
Yeah.
I would do more, but I fear I might cry. That has been Bernie's Hat, ladies and gentlemen. Well, fine folks, we have got one final guest for you tonight. This gentleman comes to us. I want to get my notes out because he's got an unusual name. I want to make certain I get it correct. Let me just find my paperwork. Here it is. A lot of pockets. That's the nice part about suits. Always a lot of pockets. I'm like a giant purse. This gentleman comes to us. This is now not an on-screen actor. No. This gentleman is a voice actor. So you may have heard his voice places. I don't know necessarily the name, but that's the beauty of voice acting. You're kind of a man behind the scenes, and so we're lucky to have him coming up to the stage, Mr. Raz Gygack. Oh, it's so nice to have you on.
Well, thank you, Bernie. It's nice to be here.
So now you're a voice actor. You do voice. Now do you do voice? Do you voiceover work for commercials, things like that, or where would we might have known you?
Well, no. I'm classically trained.
Oh, classically trained.
That's right. My grandfather was one of the top newsreel readers in the 1940s.
Oh, so the guys that you came on talked about the
Yes.
the war and whatnot.
Absolutely. And my grandfather, Raz Gygack, was actually one of the top newsreel readers for Universal Studios. And you may remember one of his biggest stories ever was women can't do anything right, but here's one who's trying really hard.
Probably doesn't age as well.
Well, it was a different time.
No,
It was a different time.
Different time. Certainly, I do seem to remember a lot of the word Jap being used in a few of those reels.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't quite age as well as we'd like it, but it was part of our history. We certainly.
Absolutely. So, Grandpa Lance, he taught me everything about the trade of reading news on film, which turned out to be not the best of career moves.
A bit of a dying breed. Really.
Absolutely. But, I like to think of myself as an artisan. A throwback to the glory of yesteryear.
Oh, okay. So much like hipsters who make light bulbs, you're just giving it back to the old school, taking it back there and making something out of the old days.
Absolutely. As Grandpa Lance used to say, those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. And those that do are going to outsmart those Japs.
That old chestnut. Yeah, that's one of those old sayings we all used to say. But it's good. I mean, I know the newsreel business, as it were, not a big thing now. But so what kind of things are you doing now? What are you?
Well, actually, Bernie, I have come up with a niche market. As a lot of the folks that were familiar with the newsreels firsthand are getting a little older, I'm actually producing a line of books on tape in the style of the old newsreels.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a different take, but I'm sure there's probably a market for that. I mean, how did you come to that realization? Like, what brought you there?
Well, I was thinking to myself, I can talk in a strange way, and old people might like to hear it.
Fair enough. Some of the finest businesses are built like that.
Absolutely, Bernie. And I got to tell you, the business is really taking off. It's terrifically popular across the Midwest, the breadbasket of the nation, where a lot of these older folks are, they're living out their days on a large piece of land far away from the terrors of the Japanese.
Sure. I would bet you're probably a rock star down in Florida.
I don't know about that. I mean, by the time the Bay of Pigs happened, newsreels were kind of out.
Oh no, I was talking about just old people retiring, but yeah, that's fine. So what kind of stuff do you do? Are you selected by the book publisher to do this, or how is it?
No, it's completely freelance. I found out years ago that if you take an envelope and you put something in it, and where you would normally put a stamp, you write "free material for the blind," they'll send it anywhere in the country without charging you a penny. And I thought to myself, now, there's a business model. Take that, Uncle Sam.
Yes. Take that. Indeed.
So would you like to hear a sample?
Please, yes, I think everybody in the audience would love to hear it.
Oh, you're too kind. Well, now, of course, in order to do the newsreel properly, you've got to have music in the background.
Oh, okay. So like just a simple an ambient soundtrack for whatever book you might be reading.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do everything from the classics, and in this case, we've got a lovely little story here from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Ooh.
Yes, the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And this one is one called The Man with the Twisted Lip. I'll do an excerpt for you.
Okay, excellent. The Man with the Twisted Lip.
There we go. Isa Whitney, brother of the late Elias Whitney, D.D., principal of the Theological College of St. George's, was much addicted to opium. The habit grew upon him, as I understand, from some foolish freak when he was away at college. And for having read De Quincey's description of his dreams and sensations, he had drenched his tobacco in laudanum in an attempt to produce the same effect. He found, as so many more have done, that the practice is easier to attain than get rid of. And for many years he continued to be a slave to the drug, an object of mingled horror and pity to his friends and relatives. I can see him now, with yellow pasty face, drooping lids, and pinpoint pupils, all huddled in a chair, the wreck and ruin of a noble man.
That is, wow. Really brought addiction to life for everyone, I think. I think that really, that's a different, certainly a different style than maybe we're all used to. But again, you say niche market. You know, you find your way in. You find out how has this been for you? I mean,
well, it's actually been very great, Bernie. I find that the older folks not only enjoy hearing the novels of the past and the present come to life through the vocal characterizations of a classically trained newsreel reader, they also enjoy the music in the background. It helps them to sleep.
I suppose a little 1-2 punch there. Excellent.
And speaking of enjoying both the story and the sleeping, we also have just started a line of books on tape for children.
Oh, well, books on tape for children. But you know what? Big market. I think the big thing is, I don't know whether all of us older folks necessarily have a lot of family reading time, but I think it's a big thing coming now with parents wanting to read their kids, and books on tape are a great way for a child to hear the literature, but not necessarily have to have a parent there reading it directly to them.
Absolutely, and if your audience will permit me,
please,
I'll give you another example.
Excellent. This is children's lit.
Yes, this is Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Ooh, Grimm's Fairy Tales. So
yes.
This is a bit of Grimm's Fairy Tales, as read by our friend Raz Gygack.
Yes, and here we go. Nope, there we don't go. We'll get there. There we are. Once upon a time, there was a child who was willful and would not do what her mother wished. For this reason, God had no pleasure in her, and let her become ill, and no doctor could do her any good. And in a short time, she lay on a deathbed. When she had been lowered into a grave and the earth was spread over her, all at once her arm came out again and stretched upwards. And when they had put it in and spread fresh earth over it, it was all to no purpose, for the arm always came out again. Then the mother herself was obliged to go to the grave and strike the arm with a rod. And when she had done that, it was drawn in, and then at last the child had rest beneath the ground. There's a reason they were called the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
If you got time, I'll tell you about it, but if you figured it out already, we'll move on.
No. I think we're all quite well. You know, maybe I know they've done some translations that aren't quite as so graphic. Maybe something different. You know what? Who am I to tell you how to do your business? We're just simply here to enjoy the work you've done. Now, I think how are the children's stories selling? Are they moving?
They're pretty good. I kind of wished I'd started with Mother Goose.
Sure.
The Brothers Grimm are a little dark. However, you know, you mentioned the word graphic, and I gotta tell you, another niche market we're moving into is one that I think your audience in particular may enjoy.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think I know where you're going with this. You know, right now the podcast circuit is awash with like murder podcasts and podcasts about death and murder and mystery and all that. So is it something of that kind of dark nature that way?
Exactly, except not. Now, when I'm talking graphic, I'm talking adult pornographic novels. Like this one, Swingers Paradise. I covered up the pictures on the front so as not to offend your audience.
Didn't know we were going to have a rating for this internet show.
I also covered up the 900 number on the back.
Well, thank you.
Unless they pay me, I ain't advertising.
Very true. You know what? You don't. If they have, listen, maybe you get on some sponsorships that way. You never know.
I'll give them a call.
Who am I? I bet you will.
You want to hear a sample?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
All right, you asked for it.
I did not.
You did, in a way. Here we go. Tell me what you think, Bernie. Artfully veiled nakedness, evidence beneath her filmy layers of wrapped vestments. Belladonna blew smoke rings that lingered about her gauzily clad head like clouds hanging around the peak of a mountain. She cast her eyes blearily around the room, initially peering at the guilelessly disheveled forms of Absinthia and Absession. Belladonna's eyes then lingered at Kincaid's gaping stinger, lips of penile well, you get the idea.
Yeah, woo, steamy. Really gets folks in the mood, I'm guessing.
Well, my wife at least, yes.
We have a guest for June. Because I have a lot of questions. Well, you know what, Raz, I thank you so much for coming in. I do hope that your business goes well. You know, it's a niche market. I certainly think that it's not necessarily something everybody's into. I don't know a single person who would be, but again, I don't know everybody. So
You would be surprised, Bernie. You would be surprised.
I can guarantee you that. Well,
By the way, it's the perfect gift for Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. Don't forget about your moms. Be sure and get a Swingers Paradise on tape.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raz Gygack.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did not expect adult literature tonight. But you know what? I think we've all learned a little something about ourselves. We've learned that you can't just walk onto film sets. And if you've got a vocal tone that died in the 40s, read a dirty book. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Bernie Maskman Presents. For Avery, my producer, for my band,